All right. So originally I'm from Germany and Congo, but I was born in Kenya, was there for I think the first 2 years of my life, and then I spent I think some 16 years in Tanzania. So I grew up basically there my entire life. Then I went to Germany for 2 years, and then I came here to study. And now I finished studying well here Holland, and now I finished studying, and now I'm working here. And yeah, I mean this is this is where I'm at. This is
Mm.
what I'm doing at the moment. I think there's a chance, in the coming months, I might move from Rotterdam to Amsterdam, and maybe next year somewhere else entirely. Maybe I've been here for 4 years now, and I don't really have that itch to travel because
Mm.
I don't know, but I'm feeling a little stagnant here. Like I'm just kind of looking outside. I'm like, there ain't too much to do that I haven't done. Kind of, it's not feeling exciting to
Yeah.
go out about here anymore.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. The switch up is always nice, man. But so, how was it coming back to Europe after being born in Kenya, Nini raised in Tanzania? How was it like? Because you left midway through high school, right? You went to Germany
No, not midway at the very end. So I
at the very
finished
end.
at one, and then I moved to Germany, and then they didn't have the same courses, so I had to redo IB1, and so I
Mm.
did IB1 and IB2 there, and
For
it was
those IB people that don't know, IB1 is 11th grade, by the way.
oh yeah, okay.
Won't put that out there.
It was a little bit of a it was a little bit of a mess, to be honest. Like I moved there and I got to stay with the host family, which kind of like meant I didn't have to be independent like a lot of people who I think come from like you guys who finished school in TZ or wherever else in Africa and then came to university and were then immediately kind of by yourself. I feel like I've heard a lot of people get like culture shock and really struggle with that.
Mm.
Me, I moved in with a host family, and that way I kind of had time to like acclimatize to the way Europe was while still having like the protection of like your home and your family kind of situation,
Mm.
which really made it easy for me in that sense. Like I always had good people come home to, and like even now till today they're like family. Like had two like siblings, and yeah, shout out to Sophie and Mads. Not sure if they,
Mm-hmm.
but and yeah, the parents met and Niels were like anything I needed always were there. And other than that, I mean, the one funny thing is, so I went to Munich, and it was kind of like a weird dynamic there because I went to the international school, and Munich is like a very rich. It's a very rich city, old traditional money, or that's at least the way I perceived it. And in my school, the international school there, like by all standards, is where you get the richest, I'd say like the richest of like that community, the German community. And I mean, for me personally, I never really understood it because I just always been to international schools. So for me, it's just kind of like international school is just where I have to be because like of the people that are around and internationalness and whatnot. I
Mm-hmm.
got there and I was one of 3 black people in the school.
Jeez.
No way.
Okay, no, four. Let me tell you, there was one other guy.
All right, that's
That,
much better,
that's
bro.
hey, I was about to say, man, four
Come
is
on,
much better
man.
than three, man.
Five,
Nah.
five, but wait. But let me break it down for you. These five. One of them, like, loved this guy, half Nigerian, half German, but was born and raised in Germany. And, like, of course, he still had, like, connections to his, like, Nigerian side through his father. But for all extensive purposes, man's was German. Like, he even his
Yeah, yeah.
German, like, didn't speak pidgin, didn't, like, we went to the barber together. Like, we connected over our blackness. I had one other guy who was from the American base. Shout out to Josiah. I'm not sure if he's gonna see this. And we had a lot of fun, but then he left at the end of 11th grade. And the other two were Tanzanian kids, half Tanzanian, half German, but they were in pre-K, right? Anywho, it doesn't matter. They were at this point. Me, I was just like desperate to just chill with any black people in my school, just like have some of that culture
Yeah.
from home that the teachers knew. So every time I had like lunch break and like little kids, because they were like what 5, 4. Every time they would walk, when they all of them walk by, like walk in the line. So the kids,
Yeah, yeah.
the teacher would see me and look at the two kids, and they're like, "You can go say hi." And me, I would go like, me, I
Nah,
would,
that's
like
not real, dude.
by these two little kids and talk to them for a little bit, and then eventually, like they would get back into line and go. And we would do this, and I was so excited to see them every single time. They like
They were
they
your kids, man.
yeah, it was it was just like it was difficult. because I missed home. I missed like it was in that sense, like even the people, like the way we socially interact with each other in school, like our parties. I mean, it was just so different. I felt like there was a feeling of like it just everyone was more inclusive, and even like with people that you didn't necessarily like so much, even if they were there, it wasn't deep, like it was whatever. But
Yeah.
when I was in Munich, like something that I struggled with quite a lot, for example, once again, not trying to talk bad about, like it was a great experience, but for example, a lot of parties and stuff, I felt like parties were quite often they were kind of bum. And it had to do with the fact that like there was a party and there was hardly anyone there. Like a person would invite like 20 people and you come and like people wouldn't really get lit, people wouldn't really like, social, like, it would be more about
I
how
remember.
you're dressed and how you're looking and stuff like that, as opposed to like having fun. And then sometimes people will be like, "Hey Eric, here's my party, you gotta come." I'm like, "Yeah, man, how many people you invite?" They're like, "Oh, 15." I'm like, "Why not just invite, a hella?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna talk. They're not my friends. I don't talk to them." Like, it's not about
Mm.
dude. You don't
Right, right, right. I
vibe.
agree with you. Cause like I remember when was this? I visited you um in Munich. Eric, yeah, we don't have to get into the details, man. Anyways, I came to one of the parties like or I don't know. Was it supposed to be a party? But anyways,
It
yeah,
was a birthday party. Too.
okay, so this was a quote unquote party, and we just pulled up and we just kind of sat around the table for, what I'm saying? Like, I thought we were going there to turn up, really get lit and stuff. And like, I don't know, the people were nice, but we just kind of sat around. And like, I really feel you. Like, you were like integrated in there, but I pulled up to this Munich squad and like, I had some crazy culture shock as well, dude.
Mm, mm,
I was
mm.
just not used to being around people that like, I've been around, let's say I've been around like rich Indian people, rich African people, and it's like there's a difference to it because I never really been around like rich European people because in 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 Europe I just got my friends that are like, we're on the same level kind of thing. But then that was a whole new world to me. I was like, okay, dude, what's going on over here,
Mm.
man?
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like for me, being one of the few black people, and I feel like considered as like the only or like one of the two only like really, really black people by all means and by all standards, I'm not, dude. Like,
Right, right, right.
we're really not. Like, sure, like I have strong African connections and like Africa's my home and that's part of me, but like, I'm also half German, so and I was raised by my mom who's German. So like, I'm not like blackity black, nah. But like that kind of that and also playing basketball there both kind of like let me transcend or kind of let me skip like this entire like social hierarchy situation because we had like within school like the different groups, but then also like you had the super rich kids, you had like the kids of the professional athletes because like Bayern Munich, they sent all their players, they sent their kids there. I mean, oftentimes they were younger, some were older, but like all of this, like all kind of status, like kind of for me, I didn't really have to like worry about it. I didn't have to worry about what I was wearing and what I was doing because they're just like I was a token black friend. So I came to school wearing sweats and slides, and people like anybody else had done this, they'd have been like, "What?" But for me, it was like, "Oh shit, you see what he's wearing?" I'm just like, "Shut up."
Yeah. Because I was wondering, like, being one of the only black people, how did that sort of position you? Was it more like, did you feel excluded, like, oh, like people looking at me weird, or was it the opposite where it's like you said, like they tokenize you, and like did you have trouble, like did you have to adapt yourself, or was it kind of like, let me just not
So
really go all out?
I feel like characteristically, me, I'm unapologetically myself always. So it just it made like obviously there was some times where there's certain things where people ask you questions about like or like can I touch your hair or like can I do this where a
Oh,
lot of people would be like ooh like this is a like a kind of a thing that people shouldn't be doing. But at the same time I felt a lot of times there a lot of people didn't have bad intent, like they just they didn't for the sake of like having like a close black friend, and didn't necessarily know better. So like for a lot of them, it was just like a genuine like curiosity, and then I'd talk
Right.
about it and be like, I mean, fine, you could touch my hair this once, but otherwise, no, this is not like a reoccurring thing we can be doing, like, you know.
No,
But
yeah.
um, ultimately, I think it just I was unfazed by other people, and a lot of times when we have sometime like issues and stuff, I choose my battles and I choose whether or not I'm going to take it up with someone and whatnot. So
Mm,
a lot of times it was just like, whatever, I just do myself, because of who I am and what I look like, and also playing basketball for the team that I do. I do what I want, and everyone was still cool with it,
mm,
which worked out quite quite well for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I can
yeah.
tell, man. Whenever I saw you there, I saw that you're quite popular. Also with the ladies, in
Ah,
this,
yes.
man. We won't get too much into it because we don't want to expose you like that. But like, I remember, man. I remember, dude. I'm sure you're quite well accepted in that environment, man.